Okay.
Thank you. So let me just okay. So Jenkins, as I told, right, the Jenkins tool is entirely built in Java, right? So for that you need the Java to be installed in your machine first. And as we are going to work on the Git repository, right? So the Git repository should be installed on your applications. Okay. So what we have to do today, so let me just log in and just create one machine for that. So let me log into this Jenkins first. This is Jenkins installed in my local machine. Okay. So before I doing all the setups, let me show you some configurations in this local machines and how you have to do that. Okay, so when you log in, I think those who are installed Jenkins and could able to log in, you'll get this dashboard, right? Jenkins dashboard. In the initial login, the first login, you'll get this dashboard. Okay, and this dashboard in the right hand side, you can see all the jobs and project description, project setup there. Okay, whatever the project you do set up, it will display here. Okay, and if you see here, all these projects are there and the last success name, and here you can see the status success of this, the of the job of the project, this status of the last build, status of the last build. And this is the weather report, means how many times, if you see here this reports, right, this has different icons are there. The report means what happens here, if you see this type of icons, it says build stability, all recent builds are failed. Okay, all recent, these are the something it is just showing one UI format, like you will easily understand what is the status of this project, like how many builds have been failed, how many builds have been success, all this you can find it over here. Okay, and if you see here, no recent builds failed, and if you see this one, 3 out of the last 5 builds failed. Okay, so all these things you can see, and here if you see here, this cross mark is build is failed, right, this green, right, actually success. Okay, so this is actually the latest version of Jenkins, and you are seeing all these kind of icons. But if you were going to join a company, and you'll see the icons will be different, don't get confused, those icons will be different. Previous versions of Jenkins, the older version of Jenkins, has some color combinations. It will be suppose some Some company will have blue color if it is success, some company will have green color if it is success, some company is having even yellow color if it is success. So don't get confused, you will get to know once you work on the Jenkins on the platform. Okay, so this is the dashboard looks like, and if you see here, last success, last failure, last duration, and you can see one icon here, build icon. Okay, if you click this build, this project will start. This project will start. Okay, now let me go. If you see the left hand side of this dashboard, you'll see new item, people, file, build history, all these items are there. Okay, the first thing what you have to do, you have to do the Jenkins configurations, the setups. So where you have to do, just go to the manage Jenkins button here, right? You can see manage Jenkins, just click this manage Jenkins here. Okay, so don't get confused. These all are the warnings and informations about the like the plugins, whatever is there, which plugins are outdated. If you want to update something like that, is the upgrade to new automatic something. See, it says new versions of Jenkins is available for download or change. So if you want to upgrade Jenkins, you can do that. Okay. Now, see, once you go to this manage Jenkins, you'll find lots of other options. System configurations are there. Okay, these system configuration pages you have to work. So here, first thing, the configure system. So what you will do, configure global settings and paths. This is the configurations of the global settings and path. So let's see what is there inside. One, what settings you have to do. Just click on this, and meanwhile, let me open this also. I have installed a Jenkins here also in the EC2 instances. So how you'll do, just copy this IP address, okay, and do 8080. See, it also open one Jenkins for me. So let it open, and okay. So it has lots of projects created and for my classes. Okay, so here I logged in as Ranjit Kumar, and based on the users, you can see all this information, whoever information who the user has logged in, and the ID, everything will display it here. Okay, so let me show this manage configurations, manage Jenkins here. First thing, you have to go manage Jenkins, okay, and configure system. Okay, it's a bit slow, I think. Okay, so if you go to and click this system configuration, right? System configurations, you will see your home directory of Jenkins is, for me it is users Ranjit Swain, and then dot Jenkins. Okay, this is a home directory. So you can see for your home directory also, you can see it here. And here you can see number of executors. I told you last class, like what is this executors? It executes the task sent by the Jenkins. Okay, so usage of this node as much as possible, right? The node, whatever the node actually, I'll show you in the node class, it will display. And here Jenkins URL, you can see localhost 8080 is the URL. So here I'll show you one difference between why I opened two, because I'll show you here. See, this URL never changed because it is installed in your local host. However, if you check this one, okay, see configuration page I am in, and here the home directory is bar live Jenkins. This is the home directory of Jenkins. Okay, and here you see the Maven project configurations are there. I'll show you all these details later on. And here see the Jenkins URL. If you see, it is 35.154.229.255. Okay, but this is wrong. Why? Because when the Jenkins was installed, that time the IP address of the EC2 instance was this one. Okay, so when I restarted the machine, it recreated another IP addresses, because the IP addresses changes dynamically. So it created another IP addresses. Now what you have to do in your things also, you can see you have to just update this. So you don't have to do all this time. For your practice on the EC2 instances, you have to change this one, or else it will impact sometimes when you are working on the node machines. Okay, otherwise it will not do any harm if you don't update also. For normal building and all these things, same machine, same node, it will not do anything. Only it will harm you when you are going to set up a node, master node or master slave architecture. It will just have some problems. So for that, before you doing that, what you have to do, you have to just get this IP address and put it here. Okay.
So, Ranjit, so we need to give the IP address of our machine or
Yeah, machine. IP address of
machine
your
IP
machine.
address?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So if you have installed in your desktop, local desktop or laptop, you don't have to do anything. Simple localhost like here is installed in my laptop, right? So the simple localhost is sufficient. Okay. And here the system email address, system admin email address. So obviously your company will have one administrator, administration email addresses will be there, right? That you have to mention over here. And this global properties, see, this is also very important. Most of the companies will have this global properties setup. Okay, so this is the environment variable sections. Whatever environment variable you will set up here, it will reflect in the project. So what you have to do, if in the project, if you want to accept any global variables, you have to set up which is static global variables. Dynamically, you should not, whatever the global variables changes dynamically, you should not update it here. Okay, the static values like the project owner, like the company code, right? The project code, whatever you want, you can set it off here. Or suppose some email address which should be updated here, you can put it here. So how you will do it? You just simply add it and give a name. Suppose I'll just I can say like the company code. Okay, this is the company code, whatever it is. Okay, company code, and then just that's all. Okay, so you have to add the global variables, environment global variables. Okay, environment variables like this. I'll show you how this can be accessed from a job inside the Jenkins project. Okay, I'll show you, don't worry. And then what you have to do, these things, pipeline speed and availability test. Okay, and what else you strategy, it's not required by default, it will be there. And all these things, whatever there, Bitbucket endpoints and AWS setups and all, I'll show you when we'll work on the AWS side. Okay, I'm going to configure this Jenkins to use few of the AWS resources. Okay, that time how to use AWS S3 and how to store the things in the S3 bucket. That things I will show you. Don't worry. And all these informations you can just ignore it. It's not required. And this extended email notifications, this part will be added. This part will I'll show you when we'll work on the email notifications. Okay, I'll show you just how to add this. Okay, so that's all. And here Amazon S3 profile, I'll show you how to do this when we'll work on the S3 polling. Okay, so S3 sorry, I'm AWS S3. That time I'll show you. So that's all. So you have to just go to the manage Jenkins and then configurations. So after doing that, so you can see here two buttons. One is apply, another one is save. So what apply will do, apply will just save the settings and save the setups, whatever you do now, you did now, and then you'll be in the same page. Let me click it. So when I applied it here, it is, see, it is only saved, but I'm still in the same page to do some further updates. But if I click on save, what it will do, it will save and come out from this page. Okay, save. See, it came out from this page. Now what you have to do again, go to manage Jenkins. So I'll show you some other tabs. So configure systems. is very important, and you can set up the, so there might be a question comes, where do you set up the environment variables, Jenkins environment variables. So you can just click on this configure systems and you can set up the environment variables. Okay. So the next is global tool configurations. Okay. So what I'll show you this global tool configuration, and it's very important for all these things. Okay. So let's go here and just click this global tool configurations. And what you'll see here, okay, this thing some default setting provided. That's okay. Leave it. JDBC is not equal. Okay. So here you can see here JDK. Okay. As if you are going to build any Java project, so you have to set up the Java. First, you have to install the Java on that particular machine, and you need to set off the path, Java home path where Java is installed. Okay, suppose let me show you here. If I just click on this, I can show you, right? I have the name I've given local hyphen jdk, and this is the path where my Java is installed, Java home. Okay, so this is a Java home. You have to set up like this. Okay, now, and if you want to, don't do install automatically. If you do install automatically, it will install the latest version of Java and it will not work. Okay, so what you do, as I showed you in the last class, you have to install the Java on your machine, go to the path where Java is installed. Let me show you that one. And always, for your practice, just install 1.8 Java 8 version only. Okay, don't go for the higher version. Java 8 and 11 is supported in the Jenkins. The other versions are not supporting. You'll get some error. Okay, so be careful for that. So what? Okay, so what I have to do? I have to log into the Jenkins server where my Jenkins is installed. So this is the IP address, public IP. Okay, so okay, so what happened? I just connected to my Jenkins server where my Jenkins is installed. Okay, now I connected to the Jenkins server. So if I see where Java is installed, so if you see here Java hyphen v, it's Java, sorry. Okay, so OpenJDK 1.8 is installed. Java 8 is installed on my machine. So normally if you do which command, which Java, it will give you the exact path where Java is installed. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to just copy this path, not entire path. Remember, don't copy until bin Java. Just you have to copy, provide the path until before the bin, because we need that. So if you give until this one, so what it will do, see if you see my here, set of, see, I've given user leave JVM and open JDK. So what happens here, if you give this path, Jenkins will automatically search for the bin folder, and the bin folder, all the installable and libraries binaries of Java available there. Okay, so you can, once you install, go there, get this Java path, put it here, give a name local hyphen jdk. So why you need to give a name, this name you have to use in your project. So be careful, whatever name you are giving, you just remember it, or you can just go to the global tool configuration and check what name you have provided. Okay, now what I'm going to do, so this is the Java instance. Suppose for Java project you have to install this Java, and do the setup, Java setups. Here you can see I have also installed the Git. Okay, so this machine is having the Git also installed. Okay, So Git version 1.8.3 is installed. So, and here there is a twist actually. So I have my Git is installed in user bin Git. Okay. So if you go here, you can see I have simply given Git. I have simply given Git. So what happens here? If you see this path, it is already there in user win, which Jenkins actually search for the, and this is set up in the home path. Okay, so user win, it will work. So now, remember, you have to just give a name for that and simply don't give anything, only just type Git. This is the executable. What is it? Path to Git executable. If you have some doubt, there is always some informations. Okay, there is always some informations, you can find it over here. Just click this help button, just click this help button, set path to Git executable. This can be just Git or the complete path. You can type only Git or you can provide the complete path. Okay, if you have any doubt, right, anything, suppose here also, if you have something, if you have doubt, just click on this icon here, help icon, and you can find it out. Okay, now okay, so what we did, we installed Git, and we installed Java. Okay, and Git installations, I already showed you in the Git and GitHub class, right, how to install the Git, and you better know how to do that. You have to install the Git in your machine. Now, and we are going to use few other tools also. Like as I told, Jenkins cannot do anything without any build tool, without any tools, and without any plugins. So what you have to do? Suppose here I am just using a build tool. Okay, so here I have suppose Maven installed. So you know very well that Maven is is a build tool used for to build a Java project. Okay, so I have installed. I have already some installations. Things are there. So you can, I'll share this document with you, and you can use that commands everything to install all these details. Okay. Okay, so this here in this documentation, I have the installations of Java, okay, and installations of Jenkins. So remember, before installing Jenkins, you should have Java also installed. Okay, prior to Jenkins installation, Java should be installed. Once you install Java, Jenkins and all, just you have to install Git. It's also I have given here. Installation of Maven, how you will install Maven. I have just given all this over here. And all this actually in the CentOS, I have done it. Okay, the Red Hat and CentOS. And if you, okay, after this also I have given some installations of Tomcat. How to install, so I'll show you when we need Tomcat server. You know, Tomcat is web server where you can install the when you can run your Java applications, right? So this Tomcat server is there, and okay, fine. So all these installations documentation I'll share to you, share with you today. Okay. So once you install and do this setup, okay, remember where you have to do all this setup: global tool configurations. So okay, global tool configurations. Again, you'll be thinking like, suppose I am doing suppose .NET applications. Suppose I'm building .NET applications, and what should I set up? So you know very well for .NET application. So the tool is MS Build. MS Build is the tool which used to build .NET applications. Okay, .NET applications. So what you have to do? You have to install the MS Build on your Windows machine, and then you have to specify the path here. Okay, I'll show you also. There is already, I have one installed in Jenkins in Windows machines. I'll show you in my next classes where how you can do the MS Build setup. Okay, so once you do all this setup, do save and come back. Okay, now let's go to the other configuration items. So now we saw this global tool configurations. Now let's go to the manage Jenkins again. So here global tool configurations, and the main part actually here is the manage plugins. This is very important, guys, the manage plugins. So what it does actually, this manage plugins actually, whatever the plugins is required for your project to work, that you can find it in this manage plugin section. Okay, just click it here. See, so if you can see here, updates, what are the updates is asking in the first page, it gives the updates is required. What are the versions of plugins installed on this server and what is the new update available, that it will give you in the first tab. If you see here, we have available tab, installed tab. So if I go here, this installed tab, you can find it. What are the plugins installed on this server? So this Amazon Web Service, Ansible plugin, and all these plugins actually, Blue Ocean, all these plugins are installed in this server. Okay, all these plugins are installed on this server. And suppose if you want to get some new plugins, if you want to get some new plugins, so what you have to do, just go to available tab. Suppose you are going to work on a Docker applications, or if you are going to work on suppose Windows applications, .NET applications. Okay, so what I have to do, just search for that. Suppose I'm searching for the tool name is called MS Build. See what I says here, MS Build. I can find it MS Build. This plugin makes it possible to build a Visual Studio project and solution files. Okay, this is related to .NET development, okay, .NET applications. Select this. You can see here, install without restart, download now and install after restart. Okay, so what this two means? Install without restart. If you install it, it will not restart your Jenkins server. So can any one of you tell why we should not do install download why we should not restart the Jenkins after installing it? What it says, install without restart. What happens? It will install it, but it will not restart it. Okay, so why we should not restart immediately Jenkins? My question is, why we should not restart the Jenkins immediately, the tool immediately? This is a generic question, and I would everyone should know. Every experienced person should know. It's not you should know Jenkins to answer this. This is a generic question, and every experienced person, any field, can answer this. Why you should not restart the Jenkins immediately after this?
Because it could be used by other persons. That is
Exactly. So, because you are not the only person who are working on the Jenkins tool, there will be hundreds of people in your organization, in your company, they'll be using the same tool. But you'll have it same different project, different organizations, they'll be using the same tool. Okay. So if you do install and restart it, what will happen? Whatever, so 100 guys, suppose few of them will be working on some project, they'll be building something. So what will happen? The Jenkins server will go down immediately, right? So that will impact their build and their work. So that is, you never do that. Even again, don't worry, you'll not have access to do that. You'll not have access to restart the Jenkins server. That will be always with the administrator and the DevOps engineer who has administrative access. A normal DevOps engineer will not have administrative access. They will have some persons, they will be also DevOps engineer, but they have some persons, they will have administrative access and they will do this restart based on the availability and checks. If nobody there, they can restart this plot. Um, Jenkins server. Okay. So, and another one is here, download now and install after the restart. So what it will do, it will simply download it and keep it. So when the restart happens, suppose weekend restart happens for the Jenkins, it will just install and restart your server. Okay. Now let me show you. I'll just go with install without restart. Okay. Click on this. See what it does. It is just now showing MS Build and the load some plugins. See, it's now success. The plugin is installed successfully. So what happens here? If you see, you can start using the installed plugins right away. You don't have to restart the Jenkins to use the plugin. You can straight away, you can start using the installed plugins right away. Immediately, you can use the plugins. That is a good pictures actually Jenkins adds. Okay, and if you want to restart the Jenkins after installing, so you can just click this the checkbox, restart Jenkins when installation is complete and no jobs are running. Just click on this. See, it restarted my Jenkins server. Okay, so it says your browser will load automatically when Jenkins is ready. So that's okay. Let me refresh it. Still loading. Okay. Okay, now it has done. Now let me just again log in back. Okay, so the plugin is now installed. Okay, now what I have to do here, again, just go to the Manage Jenkins. So go to the Manage Plugins and go installed. So in this section, if you search for MS Build, you will find this plugin is there. Okay, see, this MS Build plugin is installed. Now, if you want to uninstall, also you can just click on this uninstall things and it will uninstall for you. There are few plugins which is default and it will not allow you to install uninstall. Okay, it will not allow you to uninstall the things. Okay, fine. So now again go to the available
Small
section.
doubt.
Yeah, please.
Suppose you have installed MS Build, right, in Jenkins. Will it be installed in our local machine or how it will be? It will be installed under Jenkins itself.
It will be installed in the Jenkins server. This will install mean this will be available. This plugins will be available on this server itself to be used by the project. So it will not install on the server. It will not install on the machine. It will be installed. It will be that's called installed. What is exactly is installed on this, so that is a different mechanism is there. So always you'll find one hidden folder and hidden repositories created for the Jenkins, and it will be installed on that path. Install means this ms build actually .exe file. Okay? That will be ms build one executable file will be there, and that executable file will be placed in a path of this Jenkins server. That will be not installed because see, ms build is a .NET application and I have my server is a CentOS machine, Linux machine. So obviously it will not be installed on the Linux server. It will be there in the Jenkins itself. Okay. So Jenkins, and it will be used by the project. And when you need MS Build to be installed, see, that's a good question actually, Venkat asked. Whatever plugin you are installing, it is not installing in the server, means in the machine. It is not installing in the machine. When we'll learn about the master and node setup, master and slave, I'll show you that time. Suppose you are building, last class I told you, right? Suppose you are building a Java application and you're building a .NET application. What you have to do, you have to set up two nodes. Suppose one server machine is having Java installed and another machine is having MS Build installed for .NET framework, right? So that two nodes you have to set up on your Jenkins server, and you will instruct the jobs to be executed on those particular nodes. Java project should be run on Java installed machine, and .NET should be .NET applications should be installed on the .NET machine. Okay, so in 1 second, guys, there is some drilling work going on. 1 second, let me check one. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so any plugins? Okay, what I was telling, yes. So the nodes, when the project based on the project you are working, you have to install. So MS Build plugin is installed on this Jenkins to execute the build process, but the actual build will happen on the server, on the machine, on the node where the actual MS build is installed. That I'll show you when we'll work on this MS.NET project. Okay, I'll show you how we'll do that one. Okay, now let's. Okay, so Venkat, you understood, right?
And one more doubt.
Yeah.
This Jenkins can be used only for Java and .NET applications, or can be used for any type of applications?
Any type of you can use for shell script, you can use for Python, you can use for C, C++, anything. I'll show you, but I'll not show you all this project demo because I'm not good in other languages. I can show you Java, .NET, shell script, and all this. Okay, so based on the others, you can just do by yourself. Once you know how to do this work, how it works, then you can easily do by yourself. Okay.
Yeah, I have one doubt.
Yes.
So as you said, like no, node one is Java, and then node two, let's say some Visual Basic or some MS application.
Mhm.
And when you are integrating in the Jenkins, so how the configuration is going to happen?
No, sorry.
So do we need to
I did not get your
have
question.
any?
Can you tell me again?
Suppose we have some application in node one in
Okay.
Java application,
Okay.
and another node having Visual Basic or MSQL or some
Yeah.
other application.
Okay. Yeah.
So is there any like no while integrating like no two application,
Mm-hmm.
do we need any configuration or any
Yes.
setting in the Jenkins?
Yes, we have to. We have to do. Otherwise, how Jenkins will know where to execute? We have to do that configurations. That
Yeah,
also,
where we have to do
yeah,
in,
yeah. That is actually it's there in upcoming classes. Okay, I say it's if you go directly jump into that, you will not understand anything. So
okay, okay,
let me
okay,
tell
no
you the
problem.
yeah, let me tell you the basic things, and then we'll move forward slowly. Then in the master and node classes setups, that time I'll show you how you'll do the configurations. Okay, and also we'll do the projects and show you how you'll do the exact configuration.
One question from my side.
Yeah, please.
Uh, uh, for example, when you create a master, for example, if 7 to 8 some plugins, what are the applications are there? Okay.
Mhm.
How uh, from master you have to from master to slave. For example, master and 5 7 slaves are there.
Mhm.
That master will be divided to all the things and how it is work actually.
Yes. So the works based on your configurations. Suppose you created 10 nodes. You created 10 nodes. So most of the companies they will have actually more than 10 nodes. Some companies will have 50, 60 nodes will be there because they'll be working huge projects. So they'll have 60, 70 nodes will be there. So how this will be managed? By using some technique and some configurations that I'll show you in the master and slave architecture setup. Okay. So yeah,
Okay, okay.
yeah, whatever doubts related to the master lab, so let the master slave setup that part comes, then I'll just explain you how you can do that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
Okay. So that's all about this plugins, and you see this plugin manager and anything related to the plugins. And okay, uh, I'll show you when we do this project. I'll show you how to use these plugins. Okay, there is one site is there. Let me just show you that site where you can just get the plugin informations. Okay, um, Jenkins plugin. There is one website is called Jenkins plugin. Okay, so what you do, let me search here actually. See, let me just ping you this page, and you can find it out. Okay, so here you can see Um, Let me reduce the space size. It's 200%. Okay. So if you see here, Jenkins plugins, let me just ping you this path and you can keep it handy. And you have to use these plugins frequently to know more about the plugin and which plugin you should use. Okay. So this is very useful link, guys. So keep it handy and make a bookmark. Let me just ping you. So this plugin sections, if you see, suppose you are working on any .NET development or any Android development or any iOS development, all this development, okay, Ruby development and so all related build triggers and build tools. Okay, so all these tools available here, all these plugin sections. If you see the categories, you can find it out. Suppose I'm just going to work on some iOS development. Just click on this and iOS related, it's not getting clicked. Okay, so iOS related plugins, you'll find it out. So there are 14 plugins which can be used for iOS development. So you can select what are the plugins you need. Okay, so you can find it out. And also, if you want something, if you don't know and if you want to search it, you can just go for training and relevant. So, and just the best way to search for the plugins. Okay, suppose you are working on some Java plugins, just search for any Java related thing. So it will just give you. See, for Java, lots of plugins available. So how many plugins? There are 89 plugins available. So what are the plugins you need for Java related things? jQuery, JUnit, MySQL, all these things you can find it out over here. And suppose you want particularly for Maven. So see, Maven integration. And if you want search for MS Build, right? Search for MS Build. So we have MS Build and S Build, two plugins available. So and if you want to search for anything for Python, Ruby, and Groovy and whatever it is, you can just search for here and you can find the corresponding tools. Okay. Suppose you want to know more about this tool, just click on this and you'll see lots of things on the uses, how to use this plugin also they have given with the screenshot. Okay, they have given the screenshot. See, MS build sections, add MS build. And now if I go here, as I installed the MS build plugin, right? If I go my dashboard and just go to manage Jenkins, and if you do global tool configurations, right? You'll see one section we will call form like MS build. Earlier it was not there, right? Now if I go down, JDK git Gradle, see MS build has come. So that plugin, whatever I install, that is for these configurations. And for the server, the actual build will happen on the server where the .NET framework is installed. Okay. So now you can add this MS build. So similarly, give the name, the path name, and the path to the MS build. So how you have to do? They have given everything here. See, as this is the Windows section, and you can just give the path of the .NET Visual Studio, right? Microsoft Visual Studio installed. So you can give it here. Similarly, see all this in the build section, how to use in the build sections also, you can find it out. Okay, now let's, so this is very useful site, guys. So just keep it handy. And if you want for any other tools like MySQL, so MySQL API or MySQL database, anything, just how to set up that, just go here and you'll find it, all the information. Anyway, they have not, this driver plugin database add MySQL database driver. Oh, okay, it goes to the MySQL site. Fine. So in this way, you can find it out what's the relevant plugins is required for you. Okay. So now you are clear,
Yes, sir.
completely clear about the plugins, right? Now I don't want to
Ranjit,
stop. Yes, yes.
So, sorry to interrupt. So, actually, I'm going back to this Venkat question actually.
Mhm,
So, actually, so as you told, na, so MS Build that we install.
mhm,
So that plugin we added.
mhm.
So, but it will with actual build it will run on the server.
Yes,
So in our case, the current one, so our server is a Linux CentOS machine.
yes.
So how it is supporting actually MS Build?
Yes. So that MS Build, as I told, suppose you have a .NET application
Uh-huh.
and your
Maybe
.NET
I missed something. Yeah, please.
Yes. So that
Mhm.
.NET applications, for .NET
Mhm.
application, you need the .NET Visual Studio and .NET Framework to be installed on a Windows machine. And that Windows machine, you have to set up as a node. You have to set up as an
Okay, okay.
agent, as a node. And while executing the job, and that will be triggered, and that job will be sent to that machine to be built. The
Okay, got
master
it, got it. So
master will send the
yeah.
informations to that machine.
Mhm.
Yeah, that will.
So in current case, we cannot build, right?
No, no, we cannot build.
We
We
cannot build because we need to create another Windows machine, and that node address we have to give it here so that it can build.
that is related to the
Ah,
plan. Suppose
ah.
in this master machine, suppose this is, don't think like this is a CentOS. Suppose this is Windows machine, and here I have MS Build installed in my, so the .NET framework is installed. This is a Windows server, and everything is installed there. And I don't need any separate server. I can just see master also is a machine, right? Master and
Machine,
node
yeah, correct.
where Jenkins is installed, that is also a server, that is also a machine. If you don't want, if you want to execute everything on that same machine, you can also do that. But the problem is
Mm.
it will slow down everything because the configurations, the resources will not be available.
So much
So
overload,
much
na? Yeah.
overloaded, right? If you want to build a Java application, if you want
Mhm.
.NET application, Python, Ruby, or if you want to build any shell script, anything, because you have to entirely dependent on the one server, only the master server, right? You have to only dependent on the master server. So to segregate this load, we have to just learn about this master slave. So guys, don't jump into the middle of the river. Just let's start from the beginning. Okay. So this question obviously will arise, and once you confirm those things, definitely you are experienced, everyone, and you will definitely questions will come. But we'll discuss all these things when we covered this master and even though I tell you now, you'll be in your mind, you'll be thinking how it will be, because you'll be eager to know, right, how it will be done. So that setup, maybe quickly I'll show you in the, maybe in this, after this class I'll show you how we will do the master and node setup. That's very important to understand. And for that, actually, we have to get one Windows machine. And I already have, I think, Windows machines on the EC2 instances. I'll make that Windows machines as a demo to show you how to install this MS Visual Studio, MS Build, all this, and then how we can execute it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
So now what do we have to do now? So now we are all good about the tool setups and all, right? So the plugin, whatever we installed on this Jenkins tool, that will be available in this global tool configurations. Git is installed, so Git will be available. This is for the UI, these versions of the UI, whatever the plugins you install, that will be available here in this global tool configurations. Gradle, MSP, Ant, Maven, Ansible, Docker. So these things. Suppose, see, you can see this UI format over here, MS Build. If I go to the manage plugins, let me just show you some example here. If I go to manage Jenkins again, go to the plugins and source search for installed one, go for install, search for MS Build. Okay, so if I uninstall this, let me uninstall this. Uninstalling MS plugin. Yes. So I uninstalled now, right? So if I go to again to the manage Jenkins and global tool configurations, this MS build section will not be there. Okay, this MS build section, Git, JDK, Git, Gradle. Okay, we need to restart the server. Let me just um, it is not restarted. I just signed out. Okay.
Yeah, signed up.
I think we need to restart the server to get MS Build is still there. Let me restart the server. Okay, how I'll do it? I think there should be any options here to restart this configurations. It's not there. Okay, it's not that. So how you will do the setups? How you will do the restart? If you did not restart during the installations, so you have to go log into the server. You have to log into the server, and there is a command called systemctl. Systemctl. This command is also available here. You can find it out. Systemctl restart Jenkins. See, systemctl restart start Jenkins or restart Jenkins. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, sudo, it should be under root systemctl stop. You can do direct restart, or I'm just showing you stop and start. Then Jenkins. So it stopped now. So okay, if I refresh, Jenkins server will not be working. See, it's not, because the Jenkins server is stopped now. Now I'm going to start it.
The same way how to do in local machine. Because I installed in local machine, my Windows machine.
In Windows instance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Windows.
Not instance.
No, means Windows
Laptop.
machine, Windows laptop, right? Same thing. Windows instance, Windows laptop, same thing. Okay. So in Windows machines, what you have to do is you have to use the service, that services, right? In the services, just go there and just restart it. So how you restart normal applications in Windows, same thing you have to do in Jenkins also. Just go to the services. In the services, find out the things, and you'll see the service manager. That tool will be there, right? Service manager. I'll show you also. Don't worry. I'll show you in the Windows Jenkins section. So mistake. Okay. Now let's go to my Jenkins. Hopefully it should not be there now, right? Let's check this one, global tool configurations.
Yeah, it will not be there.
Yeah. So Gradle MS build is now gone. Okay, MS build is now gone. So this is how you have to install, uninstall, and can remove it. Now, if you are going to work on any MS project, Microsoft project, any .NET project, so what you have to do, you have to again install the plugin, and it will give you the plugin information over here in this global tool configurations to do the configurations of the applications. Okay, so you have to install the plugin here. Now let's go and check some other things. So again, manage plugins, and you'll see here there are other, okay, few other things like manage nodes and clouds. This is to add nodes on the Jenkins server. Manage node, just click on this and you'll see I have few nodes here. Master will be always there. Master where your server is running, the Jenkins server is running, and I have, again, you can see here I have two more nodes I have configured. Okay, node 1 Linux machine and Windows machine, WinAgent. So that is called agent. Okay, normally in don't say node and all, you will say that node is set up, but that is called actually agent. Okay, in Jenkins it's called agent. You can say also node agent, same thing. Okay, this is nothing but the machines, and you can see these are offline. and all the time this is actually launching. It is trying to start this machine, but this machine is not available, so it is not able to start this node. Okay, I'll show you all these setups during our master node setups. Okay, now what you do, every all these things you have to manage nodes. New node to set up, you can do it over here. Now any managed files, if you want to do managed file, you can do it here. And the security sections is very important, and you can just do the global security setup if you want to do some setups. You can do the user setups, right? Suppose you are an administrator and you are going to restrict some access, you have to just go to global security configurations. And so here, see, all this info, Jenkins own user data, and allow users to sign up, you can just give it, so users can automatically sign up. If you don't give these options, then user cannot sign up by themselves. You have to register for them and then you have to give it. So authorization, login users can do anything. Okay, login users can do anything. So whoever login will have automatically, will have all things can do anything, means have administration action. And you can just give project based authorization, metric based security. Anyone can do anything, like whoever has access, you can do login. So you can just do the all kind of setups you can do. And all this agent, again, while agent setup, I'll show you how we have to do this agent setup. Okay, and here the API token agent controller, again we'll learn about this while master agent setup, master and node setups. Okay, remember this global security is to set up the security for the users and some other applications, API setups, and whatever you want to do, you can do over here. Okay, now let's go to again manage Jenkins. There will be, you will find a lot more other things. Is this manage Jenkins? You'll find here.
One more small doubt here.
Yeah, please.
It's like that. Suppose can we create users in this section? Suppose you have installed the Jenkins in a cloud machine and you have logged in as Ranjit. So likewise, can we create users
Yes.
if we want to log in?
Yeah, we have a section called manage users here. I'll tell you. Okay, I'll go through
Okay.
steps and I'll tell you. So, and again, you can find it over here, manage credentials. Okay, so the name itself is whatever the credentials you have, you can just manage it. Suppose if you go here, I have few credentials over here. Okay, my GitHub credentials, my Tomcat credentials, my Docker Hub credentials, all I have set up here. Suppose you want to add any credentials, you can just click on this. 1 second, just go and just add a new item, or you can just click on this new item, it will be added over here. Okay, so I'll show you also while we are doing these setups, how you can add this setup. If you want to modify anything, a password change or user ID change, what you can do is just click on this update, delete, modify, whatever. If you want to update, delete, whatever you want to do, you can just click on this button and you can get it over here. Okay, now this is the credentials. These credentials will be used by the Jenkins to connect to the servers. Suppose GitHub credentials I need to connect, Tomcat server I need to connect, I have to specify the credentials over here. Okay, now let me go to culture again. So here what we'll find, again, configure credential provider. So this is the credential provider who provides the credentials. You can do this setup over here. And Venkat was asking about to create and manage users. So you have to just click on this manage users, and I have one user is created, that is Ranjit for Jenkins. Suppose tomorrow I want to create another user, so I just go here. Suppose okay, so I created one more user here. Okay, now as this is the default user, it doesn't have access to delete it because this is the admin user. And here, if you do want to change anything, you can just give, see, all these setups you can do it over here. Okay, give the description about this user, the API tokens if you want to add it, email notifications. This is the email address of this user. Okay, and all these informations you can do that. The passwords, all this. Okay. Now, if I want to log in with this, just let me log out this and go to RKS. So I got another user to connect. See, I connected as access and it has all the accesses. If you want to manage the access, where you have to go? You have to go to the global, configure global security section. Okay, and then you can do security realm and authorization sections. What you can do, you can just give the project based the credentials and all this, right? Anonymous user, add user and group. You can just click on this add a user and whatever the access you need, whether you need only job to be executed or only to run something. Okay, so you can just add the user, search for the user and the group, and then add them. Okay, so you can add over here. So this is very easy to do that. Okay, just you have to create the user first over here and then do that. So let me delete this user. Okay, I logged into this one. I don't need. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here. So okay, so now this is very important, guys. Manage Jenkins are the most important things to know and to understand how it works. Okay, so this security part, system configuration part is over, security part is over. Now let's talk about some system information, status information. Here about the system information and check the system logs if anything happened. If you want to see the load statistic, what is the load and all, you can find it over here. And to know about Jenkins, just go here and tools and actions, Jenkins CLI. If you want to go for access manage Jenkins from your cell, just click on this and you'll find one cell format here. Okay, I will get lots of commands over here. Build available commands. These are the commands which, and it gives the link also Java. Actually, this Jenkins CLI also a Java application. You have to just install this Java application in this machine. You can access various features in Jenkins through a command line tool. Just get started, download the Jenkins CLI jar. To download this Jenkins CLI jar, you can just use this to install it. Okay, and this is nobody using this, don't worry about that. I just showed you if there is an option. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, so these things actually most of the things you are familiar with. So whatever I told you and showed you now, don't delay doing practicing. If you delay practicing, remember you'll completely forget. Because as I told, this is not theoretical classes, this is all our lab classes, and I'm showing you whatever I'm doing it. Okay, so same thing you have to do by yourself, otherwise you'll forget everything. Okay, now, so we are good with manage Jenkins now. Let me show you something here. You can see the build queue option over here, and other parts we'll see once we proceed further in the tools. Okay, now you can see here the build queue and the build executed status, right? Build queue and the, sorry. So you can see here build queue and build executed. So what is this build queue? Any ideas? Anyone can tell what is this build queue?
You have to put in the queue actually. If n number of builds, no, so one by one it will get finished.
Okay. So how it happens actually? If suppose you have how many agents you have? You have so let me show you. You have one agent, two agent, also master also one agent, master also one server. We have 3 servers here. Okay, 2 nodes, 1 master. So how many executors? This master is having 2 executors. This master is having 2 executors. So let's see how many executors is for node L1. Configure it also having 2 executors. Suppose um, this is having 2. So total 3 machines are there, 3 executors are there, and we are suppose building 3 projects. So there will be no one will be in the queue because we have 6 executors available and we are building 3 projects. So it will be captured by all these 3 and it will be built. So there will be nothing in the queue. If we are building more than 6 projects, what happened? Suppose building 8 projects, 6 projects will be captured by master node. This node is having 2 executors, 2. All 6 projects will be built by this, and other 2 will be in the build queue status. They will be waiting for the waiting for any one of the server to complete. Then next, based on the first in first out FIFO order, it will be executed. Okay. Now, I told you executors, right? So if you see here, master, let me show you the master one. Just click on this master, just go and configure here. You'll see master is having 2 executors here. Now master is having 2 executors. If I want to change it, one, second.
Ranjit, one question, Ranjit.
Yeah.
Is this regarding the machine compatibility? Like, if the server is having high-end configuration, then we can run more number of nodes, right? More number of executors, right? Is this completely rely on that configuration of the machine, or every?
Exactly. As I told in the last class, it exactly based on the system configurations. If your have system is high configurations, it has 100 GB of memory, it has 1 terabyte of memory, or 1 terabyte, 100 terabytes of storage, and you can have with suppose 10 executors, 15 executors. It's up to you. It's up to your system configuration, up to your company how it does, right? So see, if your system is having low configurations, if you're creating 3, 4 executors, so simultaneously what it will do, it will execute 5 build. It will execute 5 projects. What will happen? It will slow down the server because there will be no CPU, no memory available to execute the jobs. So it will slow down and it will crash. So that's why.
In real time, how it will be, Ranjit, like, in an organization, they will have a high-end machine, or they will have, like, more number of machine to run each and every build.
It is like normal. So suppose what we are working actually. So we have one machine will have 2 or 1 executors, not more than that. We don't overload a server. So because we are give priority to our job to be done quicker and smoother, right? So we don't overload anything. So companies actually mostly whatever I have worked, I don't know about all the companies, whatever I have worked, I know they mostly keep 1 or 2, not more than that. 1 or 2 executors will be there, and mostly 1 will be there, and 2, and that's maximum they keep it. Okay? They don't do that.
Okay, Ranjit. And as this Jenkins also having a CLI, while executing the EC2 user data field, if we put all the comments, like, what are the projects we need to run, what project we need to run, what are the plugin we have to, like, install for that, and what are the prerequisites, things, and all what we like, need to do in our Jenkins web page. Those comments and all, like, we can put it in one user data itself while executing the project. Means as if we get familiar with a lot of, if we created with a lot of project, we like, we end up with using CLI itself, right? So if we create one project, the concept, if we get to know from the business, then we can write a CLI command itself, right? Only by executing the like, my EC2 instance. Is that possible, or
See,
not?
Automation, right?
Yes, automation. While executing the EC2 instance itself, everything if we put it as a command and if we run means, will it be work or every time we need to go to GUI and we need to change in order to create a project, we need to do all the setups through that GUI and we need to start working on it.
Yes.
That's my question.
So yeah. So everything you have to log into the GUI Jenkins tool and you have to do the setups. So Jenkins CLI command, let me show you. It is not for the automation. The tool itself is an automation tool and you can exactly use it. So why you'll go for a command line tool and execute and write your own automations? Instead, you can use directly come here. See, those things I will show you in the automations. Still we have not gone to the project writing the code, so we have to write few codes to do the automations that I'll show you. But let me tell you about this Jenkins. What it says: access or manage Jenkins from your cell or from your script. If you go on here, what it says, you can access various features in Jenkins through your command line. Suppose you want to clear some queues, you can simply go to the Jenkins CLI, clear some queues, and if you want to copy job from one to another place, you can do that. You can create a job using, suppose if you want to create a job, what you have to do, you have to just simply use this command to create a job. So create a job and job name, okay, and creates a new job by reading and standard in as a configuration XML file. So what you have to do, you have to create one XML file. In that XML file, you have to update everything and then simply execute this command to create a job. So normal way in companies, they don't use this Jenkins CLI. Though these options are there, we don't use these commands to create jobs and to see which one you'll prefer, the easiest one or the complex one. This one, when you are going to write, that means you are going to write by your own script. Then if you are going to write your own script, then why you are using this Jenkins tool? You can use shell script, you can use Python, you can use Java, whatever you are comfortable with, and you can write the automations for yourself, right? Still,
Understand.
yeah, still you can use Jenkins CLI to do other stuffs. I would suggest don't do this to create the jobs. Okay, so I'll show you why you'll feel this is very difficult when we create the jobs, and now you'll see how difficult will be Jenkins CLI to do and manage. So always use this GUI format to do that. Okay, suppose when you will do, suppose you want to copy some jobs, you want to, so you should know, see, main thing is why people are moving towards automations, to make the work easy and quicker delivery, right? And if you are again go to the traditional way writing the commands and all this, then it will take lots of time and it will take lots of setups to be done in your command line. Okay, now,
Yes, Ranjit. Like the thing it is very simple. Is like in order to create a EC2 instance, after creating the EC2 instance only, we'll get to know about the public IP address.
yeah,
So without getting public IP address, how we will launch it? It's not possible to use the data. Sorry, Ranjit. Sorry for my dumb question.
no, that's okay. So what I'm going to do here, so here some see what are the things, some other things. Suppose you want to do clear some queue, like if you want to have the queue has a huge number of jobs are waiting in the queue, huge number of jobs are waiting in the queue, and if you clear in the GUI, one click, it will take time, right? Instead, what you can do, you can use this clear QE command to clear the builds. Simply use this command and execute it. It will clear out all the queues. So you have to wisely use this CLI, not for everything, but you have to use to do some ad hoc works. So these ad hoc works like clear queue, like copy jobs, right? And delete builds and delete some credentials or delete some jobs. There are more jobs out there. If you want to delete by writing a script again, you can use this delete job. So some ad hoc works and lots of commands are there. You can use it. Okay. So that things can be done. And thank you, Mati. Actually, you asked and explained more on this Jenkins CLI. So you can use in these ways. Okay. Now, okay, so most of the things I think we covered in the one second in the manage Jenkins things. Okay, so most of the sections we covered, and these tools and actions you can just the rest of the things. See, prepare for shutdown and system. What is this? Stops executing new builds so that the system can eventually shut down safely. If you want to shut down the system, so you can use this options. You can shut down the servers and all. Okay, and there are okay. So these are the system configurations which you should know to do the before. See, still our main part has not come. This is only configurations part. Still we come covered. Okay, only 10%.
Admin part.
Only admin part we covered. Still, main DevOps part still has not come. Okay, main DevOps engineers part will be there. Okay, now I am in my dashboard. Okay, so the first thing is the requirement will how the see what am I going to this is everything is real time. Okay, so how you will create a job and when to create a job. Just think about a scenario. You are working for a project and that project is required to be automated. To be automated. And you are dependent on the Jenkins and you have a Jenkins tool. And that project, suppose simple, let me start with Java project. The project is a simple Java project and that will be built. That will be done. The build will be done, scanning will be done, unit testing will be done, and lots of other stuffs need to be done. So how you will do the setups? The requirement will come to you, and then you have to discuss with as a DevOps engineer. You have to discuss with your developer partner, developer who has developed the applications. Because without the developer's informations, you cannot proceed. You need what is the system configuration is required for that project, for that application. What is the system configuration required? If you don't know the system configurations required, you cannot do the configurations. Understood, right? You cannot do the configurations. So you have to first understand what is the system configurations required for that applications to be built. That you need it. And then where the link of the repository, where they have stored the code, because we need to build the code, right? We need to build the code where the code is available. What are the system, what are the tools required to build the applications, and what scanning tool they use, what unit testing tool they use, what testing tool they use. You should know all these informations before you do the setups. Remember, this is 100% real time. Okay. Now, what is because we used to ask questions like this to our candidate, to our when we take interviews, we ask these real time questions: how you do the setups. So if a person tells all this, that means he really has worked. Okay, that is the first impression. Fine, that we'll discuss later. Now, let's create a job. I got all the informations from the project related informations. Now, what I have to do, I have to just, you can see here one new item over here, right? Click on this new item and you'll find the lots of ways to create the project or a job or a project. Lots of ways are there. So what are those ways? Freestyle project, Maven project, pipeline project, okay, Bitbucket team project, GitHub organization, multi-branch project, all these available. Okay, now I'll show you three ways how we can create. One is freestyle, pipeline, and multi-branch pipeline. Okay, so let's create the freestyle project. First, understand what is this freestyle project, what is this pipeline, and what is multi-branch pipeline. The freestyle project, what is it says? This is the central feature of Jenkins. Jenkins will be build your project combining any source code management with any build system, and this can be even used for something other than software build. Suppose you are going to set up the freestyle project. Here You don't have to write any code. This is simply UI based setups. We don't have to write any code. Let me show you. And in this pipeline, you have to write the code. You should understand how the Jenkins pipeline syntax works. You have to write the script here. I'll show you while we'll cover the pipeline section. Okay, don't worry. And multi-branch pipeline, how you'll handle multiple pipelines. Whatever pipeline will create, how we'll handle this multiple pipeline. So we'll cover this in under the pipeline section. Don't worry about that. So today, let me show you to create a simple job and build it. Okay, I'll create two jobs today. I'll two projects. I'll show you how we can create our first job. So before that, let's give a job name. Okay, I can give my first job something I gave. My first job we can batch. Okay, now I have to click on this freestyle project. Okay, just click OK. Once you give all this the name, select freestyle project. Okay, now my job is created. General sections, give a descriptions, something. Now you can see, okay, you will find there are a few tabs over here, right? Source code management, build trigger, build environment, build and post build section. So if I go here, source code management, okay, let me go one by one. So in the general sections, you will find few options over here. Discard old builds, GitHub projects, all these options available. Okay. So if you click on this discard build, old builds, what will happen? Before starting this build, whatever the old builds are there, it will remove everything. Then it will build freshly. Okay. So if you want to know more on this, you can just again click on this help button to know all these options. Okay. This is what. So I'm not going to select anything here in general sections. Let me come to the source code management section. In the source code management section, you can use.
So while creating the new job, so as you said, like the general tab, I think we should not select anything for the new project. I'm saying new.
No. You can select. You can select. All these options just go through here. What happens is, if you are working on a GitHub project, select this GitHub project, give the URL, then you are done. Okay. And if you are going to work, suppose your project, your build is having some parameterized, you are pass, sorry, you are passing some parameters. So what you have to do? This project is parameterized, so you can add some parameters over here. Okay, so I'll show you. That does not mean that you have not to add based on the project. What I say, based on the project requirement, based on the project requirement, you have to select the options which is required for you. Okay, suppose if your like I told, if your project is required parameters, you can select this. If your project is a GitHub project, you can select this. Okay, and if you want to discard old builds, you can click on this. Okay, then you can do that. Even though if you create a new job, if you don't have any build, you can still select this. No worries. And here the strategy, it gives the log rotations. If you want how many times the log rotations, how many days to keep, 2 days, 3 days, maximum builds to keep up to 5 builds it will keep, the rest of the builds it will delete. So I'll show you these things, don't worry, how these builds will be
Okay.
deleted. Okay.
I think most of company they use Git, I believe, or
Which one? GitHub project?
I think most of company they use GitHub project, right?
Yes,
So
everything.
I'm just
So yeah,
yeah.
GitHub project. They are using all this GitHub project. So when we work on this GitHub project, right? That I'm also just to now I'm just creating a simple job to demonstrate how it works. Simple self-script job. Then when we work on the GitHub Java project or .NET project, that time I'll show you something different. Okay. and I'll show you in the Git. Still, we have not worked on the Git project. Okay. Now, what I'm doing the source code management section. What about the repositories you are working? Suppose you are working on the SVN. You have to, what you have to do? You have to, okay. Here is a question for you. If you understood clearly, can you tell me? Here I can see only Git option there, but my project is my repositories are SVN. What I should do here? If you understood clearly, everyone should answer. Everyone till now, everyone should answer these questions. Whatever question I asked you. What should I do? I need SVN, but SVN is not here. What should I do now? I already.
So that hello.
Mhm.
That URL we are setting up, no? So Git URL where
No, 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 no.
repository where on the beginning.
My question is, I have SVN repository, SVN, not Git repository, but I cannot see any SVN option here. I can see only two non and Git, but there is source code management. There is no SVN option here. How I should get this SVN option?
It's been we need
From the
to then
plugin,
that
from the
package we need to
plugin,
install, no?
yeah, from the plugin we can.
Exactly. So that is what I need, right? That is the answer. So we should install the plugin. So whatever the things you need is not available here, you should go ahead and install the plugin. So
Install
yeah,
plugins.
let me show you. I saved this project. Let me install the plugin. Okay. So go here, manage Jenkins. Go to available section, search for SVN. SVN, SVN. So
I think tortoise is doing something. No,
okay. So there is one is SVN 1 point for this plugin is built on SVN kit library to use a version working copy format. So 1.5 source code management related. Which to okay, nothing is there. So let's select this SVN 1.4 and install without restart. So it is installing all the SVN related. Okay, it is installing subversion also. Okay, so it is just installing all these things. Okay, now it is installed successfully. So what it says, you can start it, or what I can do, simply I can go ahead and use it. Okay, so let me go to the dashboard, and I have created the job. What is the job name we created? Uh, my first job weekend batch.
First.
So we can just select it here. This is the name, and okay. So you can see here my first job weekend batch I created, right? Just click on this. Just click on this job, or you can just select it here, and whatever you want you can do. You can configure, you can build, you can see the workspace on delete project, everything you can do it, and you can rename also. But I'll show you. Just click this job, and you see here on this section, so you can find, you can see build now. Same thing will also available here. Go and click configure. Now, where we had left will be there now. So these things we have done now. So let's go to see. Now our subversion is added here. SVN is added. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can give the SVN repositories and all the SVN related things we can provide it here. So as I'm going to create a job which is not repositories or anything, simply shell script or shell program, I'm going to execute it. Okay. Now build triggers. This build triggers, I'll show you when we'll work on the automation. Still we have not worked on the automations. These automations, I'll show you how this build will be, how you want, okay, let me tell you, how you want this build To be triggered, you have to select the option here. So guys, poll SCM, GitHub hook triggered. This one we, while discussing in the GitHub, we had one section called webhook. Who remembers, who actually have worked on, seen that lecture, they can remember. There is a section called webhook to automatically trigger the build when the developer pushes the code to the remote repositories. By seeing these options, we can do GitHub pull request, GitHub branches, and we build periodically. These things we can see. Okay, when we do that, the sections is there. So at that time, we'll discuss all this build trigger section. Now this build environment where you want to build which and what, delete workspace before build starts, whatever you want for the build environment, you can set up all this. Okay. Now the step is called build and post build actions. So build means what you want to build it. After build, what you want to do, that is post build actions. Okay. So let me first build it. So suppose I want to see in the build section, what kind of build you want to do. Just select. If you want to do some Docker build, if you want to do some top level Maven targets, like if you want to build some kind of Java projects using Maven, using Gradle, using Ant. Okay, if you are using some Ansible playbooks, invoke some Ansible playbooks, you can use all these options to build. You can see here there is no MS build options available here because I deleted the MS build plugin. I uninstalled the MS build plugin, right? So you'll not find it over here. Now let's see this execute cell. So I selected this. You can, if you want to delete it, you can delete it here and just go here and execute cell. Okay. So what I can see here, simply command I'm going echo hello Jenkins. This is a demo for weekend batch. Okay, so oh, sorry, I got a call. Okay, so suppose this is some simple commands I'm giving, and I can just give whatever I want. Suppose I'll just execute. You can execute a script also. That I'll show you in later classes how you execute the script. But I'm simply giving you the writing some simple commands here. Okay. So if you want to add some dates, right? I can just add today is, and I can give the date command here, right? Simple ways how you execute the commands. Date. Now all done. Now let's what you do. This is simple, and just save it and come out. So now my project, one project is created. That's called my first show weekend batch. Okay, and you can see here the options is called build now. Okay, if I click on this build now, it will execute the project. Okay. See, the build is already executed, and you can see here the build number. Okay, let's come to the build history section. Let's come to the build history section. What happens here? You can see here the build is, the color is, see, is as blue color, right? So it is success. If you keep the here success, if you click this one, it will show you the console output. See, this is the build number 1. Okay, if you want to, you can just click here and you can go the console output here. Okay, and if you want to do directly, you can just click on this blue button and you can see the console output. So this is the console output started by the user. Okay, and running a system. This is the workspace path, and you can see it's just prints the hello Jenkins, this is demo for weekend batch, and today is this time. So it executed the script whatever I have given it here, right? It just executed the script. Okay, simple things whatever I have given it. So this is a simple shell program. I just created a job of having shell program. Okay, so there are lots of things to know and understand all this. Yeah,
Ranjit, where do we need to execute this?
means
Where
going
do
to
we
it,
need to
right?
execute this build we create?
Okay, that's good things whatever you asked. So guys, whatever things actually coming in your mind, just ask, because see, that's a good question. Actually, where they executed? It executed on the master, because that is the server. We have only one master so far is there. So when we set up a master, means when you create a job and you don't specify anything, don't remember, when you create a job or project and you did not specify anything, right, where to be run, then by default it will run on master. Okay, so let me show you a demo here. Now let me just add a command, sleep command. Let me show you to sleep for 30 seconds. Sleep for 30 seconds. um, So it slept for 30 seconds. Okay, let me show you the demo. Now let me build now. Again, you have to click this build now. This is the manually build still. Let's see. Now you can see here it is now sleep. See, this project is running. That means build number 2 is now running. So if I go here, dashboard, stay here, master, it is running on the master. Just go to the dashboard and you'll find it here. It is running on the master, and the job, what are the jobs are running, it is running on the master. Suppose this is running for one job. Suppose I click, suppose two more jobs to build. So master, okay, now you can see here master is now the job is success, so master is now free. That means it's turned in the master. So what is the master? Which is the master? Where the Jenkins server is installed. That is your master. Okay, Madhi? Did you understand? Hello?
Ranjit, I just connected back, Ranjit. My side network slowness is there, so I didn't get what you were telling for a couple of minutes. Sorry for that, Ranjit.
No problem, no problem. Let me tell you again. Okay, so what is the master? First thing, let me tell you. The master is where the Jenkins server is installed. Okay, where the Jenkins server is installed, that will be your master node. That will be your master node. And that master node, if you don't, when you execute a job, you execute a job, if you don't specify the jobs to be executed on a particular node, then by default it will run on the master server, on the master node. Okay, suppose the job which I created, right? Let me, what is that? Okay, it is still sleeping. Okay, no, still okay. Now what happens? I just built another job. So let me build now. What will happen? So it is now building the job, right? If I go dashboard, you'll find here, see, default it is running on the master. Default it is running on the master. Master means the master where the Jenkins server is installed. So let me trigger few more jobs. What will happen? Let me trigger one sleep job, this one and this. So what happens here, guys? See, I click two more jobs. One job is executing and others are where in the queue, build queue. Okay, sleep 5, it is in now executing, and the sleep 1 is in queue. Why? Because master has only one executor. Master has only one executor. So it is just executing one job. The other one is in the queue. Other one is in queue. Okay, once this job is complete, it will add this job into the master and it will work. Remember, by default, if you don't specify a job to be executed on particular node, by default it will run on master. Okay.
Understand, Ranjit.
Okay, that's good. So today we created a simple job, and I showed you how we'll set up this job and create one. So I would expect from you guys to go home and just whoever has not installed Jenkins yet, install it, create a simple job, play yourself. If you don't play, you will not learn. First thing and last thing. If you don't play, you will not learn how to play it. Okay, just go ahead, do whatever you want to do in the Jenkins, because this is not your official Jenkins and all. It is your own. You can do whatever R&D you want to do. Try to create something. If it will make your hands free, right? It will make your practice, because when you go to a company and get a job and they'll expect you guys have experience. That time you should have your hands should be experienced. It should be so much experience that you can easily go somewhere and just click and do the job setups without anybody's assistant. At least you can create a job. That job may or may not work. That's the next step, that you have to fix it by checking the logs, by checking the configurations. And if you have any doubt, you can check with your member and you can go ahead, right? Okay, guys, so that's all for today. And tomorrow we'll work on Git projects. Okay, tomorrow first thing I'll create a project on GitHub, and on Java project. I'll show you how we can do that setups. Okay, both private and public setup I'll do. We'll just go ahead, and then tomorrow I'll just go ahead with master and node architecture. I'll discuss and I'll show you how we can set up all those. Okay.